In ancient Arabic, Tariq was a night visitor, a traveler you could not see in the dark, who announced their presence to your camp by striking their staff against the ground. Taraka. So it is interesting that in the Qur'an's chapter 86, God swears an oath by the sky and by At-Tariq, the night visitor who knocks. But then the Qur'an says, and what will make you realize what At-Tariq is? وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الطَّارِقِ. This rhetorical question is a pattern in the Qur'an. It is also used for Laylatul Qadr, Al-Qari'ah, and Yawm ad-Din, and a few other terms. The pattern of when the question Ma Adraka is used is clear. The object refers to realities beyond our immediate perception, things we know by name but not in essence. Linguistically, the El in At-Tariq is an encompassing article. We aren't just talking about one visitor. We're talking about an archetype, a class of things hidden from our sight that reveal themselves through strikes. The Qur'an immediately answers the rhetorical question, An-Najm Ath-Thaqib, the piercing star. Today we are peeling back the layers of astrophysics to find the real striker behind the verse. If you look up scientific miracles related to At-Tariq, you'll find the pulsar. These collapsed stars spin rapidly, emitting rhythmic radio pulses that sound like a knocking door when converted to audio. It's a compelling fit, but as a researcher, I ran into a problem. Pulsars are stars and are audible via radio telescopes, but are they piercing? Do they physically interact with our world in any way that justifies the term An-Najm Ath-Thaqib? Generally, no. They are beautiful cosmic clocks, but they lack the transformative power described later in the surah. So let's look deeper to the black hole, such as Sagittarius A at the center of our galaxy. It's 26,000 light years away and 4 million times more massive than our sun. This is the ultimate invisible guest. Within its event horizon, even light cannot escape. It satisfies the Ma Adraka mystery, why God had to tell us about it, because it is literally unseeable. Black holes also knock. They exhibit quasi-periodic oscillations, rhythmic flickers in X-ray emissions that encode information about the black hole itself. And the next verse also made black holes a good fit for At-Tariq. The verse goes, In kullu nafsin lamma alayha hafidh. There is no soul but has over it a recorder. This perfectly mirrors the law of information conservation from physics, the idea that data is never lost to the universe. Think of space as tiny volumes containing bits. Like a computer, information can be scrambled by entropy, but it cannot be destroyed. When the Qur'an says every soul has a recorder, it implies that your data, who you are, is never lost, not a single bit. But there is a problem. While black holes store information, are hidden, and knock, X-ray emissions from them are also not strong enough to be considered piercing. So let's consider one more candidate for the striker, the supernova. The supernova is a star that was once hidden or unremarkable until it suddenly explodes, striking the universe with a wall of ionizing radiation. This radiation, X-rays and gamma rays, truly pierces through atmospheres and DNA. Before we continue with supernovae, consider the next 3 verses. فَلْيَنْظُرُ الْإِنسَانَ مِمَّ خُلِقَ مِنْ مَاءٍ دَافِقٍ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ بَيْنِ الصُّلْبِ وَالتَّرَائِبِ. Let people consider what they were created from gushing water emerging from between the Sulb and the Tara'ib. Literally, the Sulb refers to the backbone and the Tara'ib to the rib cage or upper chest. The most common interpretation is that mankind is being reminded of their humble origin in seminal fluid. Other interpretations see the Sulb as representing the male and the Tara'ib the female, pointing to the interaction that leads to human creation. Some modern researchers even note that early reproductive structures develop near the spine before migrating. Without contradicting these explanations, we can step back and examine the underlying language, perhaps gaining an additional allegorical meaning. In Arabic, the root of the word sulb conveys hardness, rigidity, and structural strength. The root of tara'ib is associated with dust, earth, and fine particles. In geology, we see a similar contrast between the Earth's rigid interior layers and its more granular outer layers. And deep in the ocean, between such layers, hydrothermal vents release superheated, mineral-rich, gushing fluid. Environments that many scientists believe played a critical role in the early chemistry of life. This offers an intriguing parallel, life emerging from dynamic processes deep within structured layers. Let man consider what they were created from gushing water emerging from between the Sulb and the Tara'ib. This is where the supernova comes in. Life may have begun in these vents, but it needed a spark to evolve. Supernovae provide the mutagenic knocks, bursts of high energy, piercing radiation. To understand the scale and consider the frequency. A person knocks on a door once every second. Pulsar is like a high frequency hum, knocking up to 700 times a second. A black hole, like Sagittarius A, is a rhythmic flicker, knocking perhaps once every 20 minutes. But the supernova is a rare and momentous strike. Statistically, within 100 light years of Earth, one occurs every 30 million years. So there were roughly 100 mutagenic knocks that have signaled software updates to the history of DNA since life first emerged on our planet. One of these strikes, about 2.6 million years ago, dusted the Earth with radioactive iron-60. This cosmic knock coincided with a period of rapid environmental change and the accelerated brain development that defines our own human genus. If the first verses of Surah At-Tariq focus on man's origins on earth and the preservation of his information, the chapter's powerful second half focuses on man's last days and return to God.